what the senior leaders could do as a start is offering mentorship programs. There's not more than at least equal number of women employees and make sure that the hiring process is very transparent. The panel that is hiring is also having women on board. IBM saw that a lot of talented women got interested in joining IBM and through which they saw their profits and revenues go up. That maybe I don't deserve it, I will never apply even, and you see already 10 men would have applied. If you understand that someone is having this bias or a perception, challenge them. So is being dominated by women these days is because there are less women leaders at the top of any organization, there are less role models.
Good evening, everyone. We welcome you all to our team Global. We have Shagun Agarwal, the CEO of Strategy here, a seasoned mindset and performance coach, and an accomplished public speaker, an avid reader with extensive experience at UBS and Deloitte. So brings a wealth of knowledge and insight of our event. So on behalf of Adore, I welcome you all to the Synergy webinar.
Thank you so much, Akanksha, for that warm welcome. I'm so grateful that I got an opportunity to interact with so many of you all. I know most of you are students. So as students, we are always looking for more resources where we can learn more things. So I'm excited. I hope I can add value to all of your lives and I can share my insights, which could be useful because one day you all will be entering the corporate world and then you will see how much of a transition this has come. But once you listen to experts, you learn from the experiences of others, and that's how you grow manifold. So I'm really excited for this session.
It's not just a question, it's just a fact that there is a less, how can we encourage more women in the male dominated field? Like being a mechanical engineer, I am. So I have seen a less women participation in the male dominated fields like in the mechanical engineering or being in the MBA I am pursuing in the sales and strategy force, no? So there are very less women because there is a perception in the people's mind like women are not good with numbers, they can't handle machines as well. So how to change the people's perception? It's not just we can do it at overnight or something, but it will take time. I know, I understand that it will take time, but it's in the people's mind that women are not good with numbers or with the machines and all. So how to change that?
Very relevant question, Saloni, very relevant question. So, like you said, people think that women are not good with numbers, women are not good with technology, they don't understand systems, they don't understand how things work. So, the first thing that we women have to do over here, especially in male-dominated industries, is challenge them. If anyone comes and tell you, or if you understand that someone is having this bias or a perception, challenge them. Just go straight to their face and ask them, do you feel that women, do you really feel that women cannot understand numbers and we cannot be good mechanical engineers? Then give them live examples, give them research studies. For example, I was reading an article which said that ISRO is being dominated by women these days and even at the top. So give this live example. If you come out with statistics and if you come out with research studies that have been evidence, that have been proved, then you can challenge these beliefs, these notions, these biases that other people have. But if you don't have facts and figures at your place, you will not be able to do that. So first thing is challenging the beliefs confidently in front of the people who you think. Maybe they're not talking to you. Obviously, no one will come and tell you that you cannot do this, you're not a good, you can never be mechanical. You know that they have this perception. Just go and confront to them with confidence and with facts and figures. Another thing that when we talk about establishing women in male-dominated industries, what we can do is, you have to have the self-belief. If you have the self-belief, no matter what anyone thinks, doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Trust me. Like when I went to the US and I started working in the corporate world, I was the only Indian. And there everyone had the perception. No one came and told me, but everyone had the perception that Indians are meant for back-end roles. They are meant for data entry kind of tasks. So people never came and told me this, but they had this perception and this was clearly visible. Because for the same role that they are doing, the same job that they are doing, Indians are also doing the same job. But they are paying much less to the Indians. So when an Indian is working next to them, sitting next to them and working in the same role, they feel that she doesn't deserve to be here. So what you have to do is you have to still work with confidence and have the self-belief that you deserve to be in this role. If you have the self-belief, then your environment should not be affecting you. It doesn't matter. It said that elephants keep walking and people keep barking. It doesn't matter to them. So be that elephant who is unaffected by what people are saying. And your self belief can only do that. Only you can build that self belief for yourself. No one can build that. So have strong beliefs in your abilities. If anything happens wrong in your environment, just keep telling yourself that I know I have the ability to become a great mechanical engineer, irrespective of whatever anyone thinks. Hardly matters
Yeah.
whatever anyone thinks, right?
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I am shadowing the country head of HCL, India's country head. So she is the sales and strategy head, and she herself says that it is a male-dominated field. Na? So she has to struggle with the male part, because in sales and strategy, the things are it is very much outgoing field, and second, it is very much a maths-driven field. So she
Yeah.
herself says that you have to challenge yourself every day in the field, in like in doing the calculations part and going, because she is traveling so much so around, because she handles all over the India and plus Asia also. So it is like it's not that I don't believe myself. It is something like people around me say something, okay, like this is a girl, she's a girl, how much she can go further now. Matlab, girls are not good with numbers, or they can't handle machines and all. No? So these talk sometimes doubt lead me to doubt myself also. Ki, am I not good enough or something? Matlab,
No
how
doubt.
much can you uh, like can be self motivated? Na, sometimes surroundings also overwhelm you, so I don't know how to build on that.
So first thing is self-belief, Saloni. You have to have the self-belief and keep reminding yourself of the good things that you have done. Keep reminding yourself that you are a mechanical engineer and you're going to become a mechanical engineer for a reason. You have been selected into the program for a reason and you deserve it. You're not there for just random reason. You deserve it. Secondly, whenever you have an idea as to how to grow, suppose you're in your mechanical engineering class and the teacher says something, you have an idea to maybe express more, or maybe something that can add on to the idea of the teacher. Raise your hand and speak up. Have the confidence to add on to something. Even if you think you're wrong, or even if you think that it's not that valuable, still speak up. When you speak up, it gives confidence to your own self and gives confidence to other ladies also around you. That if she can speak and she can vouch for her ideas, then even I can. And you never know, maybe that idea clicks with everyone, with other male counterparts of your, or with the teacher. And then they start believing upon that, yes, she is capable of becoming a mechanical engineer. Let me give you more points. If you're wanting to become a good mechanical engineer, seek out mentors and other influencers in the field. Like reach out on LinkedIn to other mechanical engineers who are women, who are successful. So go to the search bar, type mechanical engineer and educational degree. It will give you all the mechanical engineers and then check mark on the female. So female section. So it will give you the list of all the female engineers who have educational degree as mechanical engineering. And then start adding them on your network. Start building out your connections who could further you out on your career and gives you the confidence also that if they can do it, then even you can do it. If you go onto LinkedIn, if you have 100 mechanical engineers on your wall posting something or the other about their career, about their success stories, then you understand that if they can do it, if they can overcome the limitations, if they can struggle themselves in a male dominated industry and still come out of it, then even you can. And another thing is, the last thing is pursuing continuous learning and skill development. The more you upskill yourself, Saloni, the more you will be unbeatable. And especially in today's time when everything is changing so fast, no one knew that AI could be doing everything for us today, and we don't have to write content or do research. Everything AI is doing for us. So no one knows what the future holds, but the more we upskill ourselves, the more we will be unbeatable. Think about Indra Nooyi. No one at PepsiCo would have thought that an immigrant who has just come from India and starting at a very junior level position is going to become the CEO of such a big conglomerate. No one would have thought that. And it is a male-dominated society also. US is definitely a male-dominated. All the companies are. So you think it was easy for her? No, it was not easy for her. But she kept on upskilling herself. She kept on improving herself to become a good leader, good leader, good leader. And at the end of the day, everyone has to take a defeat and accept, yes, you are capable of becoming the CEO, and we cannot question that. So for that, you have to make yourself that capable that people don't question that you don't deserve to be there. When she became the CEO, no one questioned her because she had upskilled herself, she had improved herself every single day to make everyone realize that she is the most capable person to be there. So you also have to upskill yourself in your class, in your domain, in your field. So people in your classroom or your teachers don't undermine you. They know that you deserve it because you have the knowledge to back your attitude.
Sure, I'll implement these tips.
Following up to that, ma'am, actually coming from a startup background, I myself has observed that our female counterparts are a bit hesitant, even though the environment is completely fine. They themselves are a bit hesitant, to enroll in these fields. I have a aerospace engineering. I am from an aerospace background, and my female counterparts, they themselves are a bit hesitant. So I think
Mhm.
that bias is actually stopping them from actually, succeeding to that particular field. So I
Yeah,
wanted to ask regarding this. How can I convince them to, come out of that bias?
they have to convince their own self, Piyush, trust me. No one can convince anyone. You have to convince your own self. And for that, I would recommend you reading the book Lean In, where you will find so many research studies that Sheryl Sandberg has quoted in the book, where she says that women are the one who are putting themselves back. Women are the ones who believe that they are less than one. Women are the ones who don't want to be as good as men. Women are the ones who don't want to negotiate their salary. Women are the one who don't want to accept a job offer because they feel that they don't deserve it. And women are the main culprits themselves. And there are so many research studies to back that. And it is not the fault of men. And whenever we talk about feminism and all, we always say, men are the ones who are dominating women. Men are the one who are not letting women work. Men are the one who cannot convince their parents that the wife has to work. But it's not that. If the woman has the confidence, then there is nothing that can stop you. I have women employees. Let me give you my personal example. And whatever salary I put on the table, they just accept it. And you give the same salary to a less experienced man, and he will keep on negotiating with you. He will not stop. He will not stop to the extent that he can make anyone go mad. So whose fault is it over here?
Well, ma'am,
If you don't
I
ask, you
don't
will
know
not
if I
get
should say this,
reply.
but yeah.
Continue.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's them who have to convince themselves because I really want my friends, my circle to grow together. But then again, I have to like beg, low key request to them that apply to this opportunity. It will change your, entire field. It will change your perception.
Exactly,
But
exactly,
at
exactly.
the end
Just
of the day, ma'am,
apply, keep trying. One thing I always keep on telling is ask for help. Ask for help and keep applying, keep trying. You don't know what will click. You don't know. You have to have the persistence and the self-belief that this could work out for you. But because of that notion that maybe I don't deserve it, I will never apply even. And you see, already 10 men would have applied by the time you're still thinking if you have to apply or not.
exactly, ma'am.
So we women have to stand up for our own self. Who will do that? You think the men will do that? Men are doing that. In today's time, men are pitching in. Trust me. And there is one thing I want to really tell you from my own personal story that who you marry is the most important career decision you ever make. And I'm not saying I know that you guys are not the marriage age right now, but then who you associate yourself with, even the male friends that you're having, are very important in your life because who we surround ourselves really change our values, really change our thinking patterns. So if you have a friend who is motivating you to apply to this job because he or she thinks that you deserve to be at that position, then stick to that friend, stick to that mentor, stick to that association, stick to that family member, because we women sometimes need the push, and we need the push because we are not pushing ourselves enough. But if you're pushing yourself enough, you don't need anyone else.
Sure,
And
ma'am. I'll
trust me,
keep that.
by the time you're thinking of applying to a particular position, 20 men would have already applied to it. Yes, Piyush.
I'll keep that in mind and I'll keep that around my friends group as well. So I can keep on convincing my friends, okay, huh, you should apply for
Yes,
this.
yes, yes,
Thank you,
yes.
ma'am.
What steps can a startup take to address and prevent gender bias and discrimination in the workplace? Every startup can take the same steps that any big company is taking. Every company can take the same steps. Obviously, a small startup cannot start building a child care facility in their office because their office is not that big. But then pretty much 99% of other things that I talked about can be done by a startup also. They can have flexible work arrangements, they can have flexible hours, they can have childcare support, they can have mentorship programs, they can reach out to industry associations where women can communicate to another women. There are so much that startup can do. The leaders can, the top management can always vouch for inclusion. They can talk about that in their policies, in their speeches. They can have mentorship programs, network groups. If the company is very small, if there are not enough mentors inside the organization, then outside the organization, they can club one women employee with another women leader. And everything else also, policies for harassment, proper hiring process which doesn't discriminate between a man and a woman. Everything that a big company can do, leaving one or two things, everything else can be done by a startup to promote women growth in the company.
Ma'am, my question is, what are the first steps first steps company can take to improve gender diversity in leadership?
That's a great question. There are a lot of things as a first steps that the companies can do. The first is visible support. It always to- boils down to the leadership. How the leadership is that reflects upon every employee of the company. So when I say about visible support, that means the CEO of the companies have to show visible support towards gender equality and inclusion. They have to publicly post about this on social media. They have to talk about this on speeches and company policies. They have to visibly show their support towards hiring more women, promoting more women, and having more women in the organization. The second is offering flexible work-life balance. When we talk about work-life balance, we have to accept it that women need much more than men. So work-life balance, I mean, is hybrid work system where women can work few days from home and few days from office, so they can balance out their personal life and professional life. And then parental leave, whenever a child is born to an employee, then proper parental leave should be provided. Flexible hours should be provided as per whatever the situation of the women employee is. Third and very important one is mentorship program. Because women, whenever they enter the workforce, they need to have mentorship from the senior level women leaders. Because those are the ones who have already walked the path in which a new women employee would be working. So a mentor would be one who would be guiding the new employee and making the transition easy for them. So what the senior leaders could do as a start is offering mentorship program. The third is diverse candidates. Whenever they're hiring, they have to make sure that they're hiring at least, if not more than at least equal number of women employees, and make sure that the hiring process is very transparent. The panel that is hiring is also having women on board. So that makes everything very transparent. And that is something that only leadership can do at the top management. The third is leadership development programs. If the employee has stayed in a company for 3 to 4, 5 years, then it's time for them to climb up the ladder and to move on to the top management into a leadership role, managerial role, I would say. So for them, a specific leadership program should be there, catering to the challenges that women experience and the strengths and the weaknesses that women have as a gender as compared to men. The last one I would recommend is having women networks. There are social communities around, and the companies can also vouch for them. They can connect women employees to those social networks, to the women communities, where you can have one-on-one conversation with another woman who has faced something similar. Maybe a woman is facing a problem that only another woman can understand. Then it becomes a responsibility of the top management to make sure that their women employees are connected to women community groups. I think these are the main things that the leadership can take as a first steps to improve diversity and inclusion.
It's a great answer. Okay.
Can you recommend any good resource or studies on the benefit of gender diversity in
Yeah,
companies?
there's so many. Just type gender diversity. You can find so many. There's one article by McKinsey and Company, Diversity Wins, and there is a Credit Suisse report on Gender 3000, the reward for change. And all of these reports point out that when women are included in the organization, then men also experience the advantages. And this also shows, these reports show that when women join organizations prosper. There is growth in revenue and profits. Like I talked about the book Lean In, you should definitely read this book. Then The Loudest Duck is another book. There's so many articles on Harvard Business Review and World Economic Forum. Just type on Google and you will find these in the first page of the search results itself because of the SEO that they have. But this topic is something that has been talked about for over years, and you can find various resources online, offline, everywhere if you want to study about them more and if you want to promote and gain more knowledge in this field.
Yes. Can you give me an example of a company that benefited from having more women in the leadership?
Of course, of course. That's also a very good question because it practically gives you a relevant example. So I read the autobiography of Indra Nooyi a few days ago. If you would have looked me on social media, you know how much I read books. So I was reading the autobiography of Indra Nooyi, and I came to know from the book itself, and then I researched later on, but I came to know from the book itself that how much she was fostering women employees in the organization. She was promoting diversity. She was promoting inclusion. She herself came as an immigrant to America, and she herself climbed the ladder on her own. So she was not America born, she was India born. Then she studied over there, she moved over there, and then she became the CEO. So her journey is nothing short of an inspiration. And she was the one because of which the PepsiCo saw a 80% increase in its profits. And she stayed as the CEO of the company for a very long time, from 2006 to 2018. So that's a very long time. And she was the one who always promoted that women should be coming on board. Women should not just be having lower level positions, but also upper level positions. And if you read the book Lean In, it says that, men don't have to be worried that women are being promoted and that diversity is being promoted in the company. Men also benefit when women come in a company and when women are promoted. That is a research study that also been mentioned in the book Lean In. And it says that because women come with their own strengths, with their own values, and with their own systems. So when there's diversity and when there are people with different backgrounds, different genders, age group, then men also automatically learn from the different gender because they have their own strengths and women have their own strengths. So there is nothing to feel bad if women are being promoted in an organization. Another example I would suggest is IBM. IBM has a mentorship program. So as soon as a woman is recruited in a company, she is automatically through the mentorship program, she's automatically connected with a women leader who has been in the company for a long time or who has a lot of years of experience. So through that mentorship program, the new employee gets to understand the organizational culture. She gets to understand the dynamics of the organization and what the particular challenges that another woman would face, and how can she navigate those challenges. And this also promotes a lot of talent. And IBM saw that a lot of talented women got interested in joining IBM, and through which they saw their profits and revenues go up. So these are the two examples I would suggest.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Ma'am, I have a question that what are the main challenges women face in corporate jobs and how can we solve them?
Yeah, the first challenge I would say is balancing work and personal life. I mean, let's just accept the fact that in any society, because I have also lived for 9 years in the US. Now I'm in India. Again, I'm going to the US next year. So, as a woman who has lived in different countries and worked in different countries, I can say that the expectations from a woman to manage house and to manage children is much more than it is from men. Let's just accept that, and that's a hardcore fact. That's so much more in America than it is in India, let me tell you that. So we feel that the Western countries is very advanced and they don't do this and that, but that's not true. So coming back to my point, the thing about balancing work and personal life, if you want women to be becoming a part of the workforce more and more, and if you want them to climb up the ladder, then companies have to mitigate the challenges of balancing the personal and the professional life. They need to give hybrid work environment. They need to give flexible hours. They need to give child support. If the company is big, they can even have in-house infant care facilities, toddler care facilities. But if the company is small, then they can offer some kind of a deal or some kind of a discount, some kind of a promotional package they can give to women employees who have children. And another thing is unconscious bias. This is one of the biggest challenge Because when a woman is climbing the corporate ladder, there are a lot of biases attached to it. Uh, a lot of people in an organization, and I wouldn't say that men, a lot of people in an organization, every organization, they believe that a woman, when she gets married or when she has children, she will not be able to prioritize her career, and she will not be able to contribute so much to the company. But that becomes such a generalized bias that that women who want to prioritize their career even after marriage or even after children, they start getting affected because they also come into that pool where people expect or people think that, oh, oh no, she's married now, she won't give that much time. Oh, she has children now, she'll have other priorities. So that bias needs to get over at any cost. Another main challenge is because there are less women leaders at the top of any organization, there are less role models. So when a woman joins an organization, she has less women to look up to. She has more men to look up to because they are the CEOs, CMOs, and CFOs, but not very less women to look up to. Another is pay inequality, and this is something that I have immensely seen in the US, is women are not paid as much as men. So what happens is after women start having children, they start seeing the cost attached to sending the children to daycare. So then they analyze the cost attached to sending the children to daycare, and they working at a lower pay than men, and then making sure, and then on the other side that they're going to work and working at the same hours but still getting paid less. So so pay inequality is something that really needs to be addressed by all the organizations. Because if the pay is not equal, women will start leaving the workforce. If they feel that they are working 8 hours, 9 hours, same as men, and still not getting pay as much, then who will want to work? There's lack of motivation attached to the pay factor. At the end of the day, pay is important. Everyone needs to earn to sustain their family and things like that. Limited networking opportunities is another. There are less communities for women to join where like-minded women can share their success stories, struggle stories, and lessons from life. LinkedIn is something that I would really recommend to all the women. Start connecting with more women in your network. And if you have any particular problem, then you can definitely reach out to them. Asking for help is something that I always vouch for. At the end of the day, what will happen if you ask for help to any other woman who is in a better position than you are career-wise? At the end, what will happen? Max to max, she will just ignore you or say a no. But she might reply, and that could be a golden opportunity for you to mentor from her. So networking with other women who are in similar industries, similar roles, who have already done what you want to do is definitely a way to mitigate that challenge. There are two more challenges that women are facing. I'm sorry, it's a long list because there are many challenges that women are facing. So just bear with me. The second last would be, I would say, is workplace harassment. Women face more workplace harassment than men. It's a study, it's a fact. So there is no hard and fast, or there's something that men should not feel bad about. So women, if there is any harassment case in an organization, then the top leadership should make sure that they have a free and a confident space, a safe space where they can talk about their problems. And the last one, which is again very important, is career breaks. Women, for whatever reason, personal, family, child, they have to take career breaks in between. They choose to, or sometimes they're compelled to, or sometimes the situation is like that. So whenever a woman takes breaks, then they should be encouraged that they can join back the industry, because a lot of times people feel that once they have left the job, they will not have any career later on. They will now never have the opportunity to come back to the corporate world, and their career is finished. So companies should encourage that women who have left their careers, taken breaks, should be encouraged to come back. Even if you cannot offer a full-time position to those women, you can at least offer internships. So the challenges list is long. There are more and more, but these are some of the crux of it.
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer.
So my question is like, how can companies support women to balance their professional and personal life, especially the women who have their family responsibilities?
So like I said, women who have family responsibilities, how the companies can support them is flexible hours. If the woman thinks that she cannot come to office by 9 o'clock because she has a family to support and needs to take care of, or maybe her husband is traveling or has extended work hours, then if then she can be allowed to come at 10 a.m. If not 10 a.m., then 10, 11 a.m. So flexible work hours is something that I really vouch for. And another thing is hybrid mode. If she cannot come to work every day, then allow few days of work from home. And especially after COVID, I think the whole world has realized that we can comfortably work from home, and it's a possible scenario. It's a practical possible scenario that everyone in the world can start. Not everyone, maybe few professions and couldn't do that, but most professions can be working from home. And then childcare support. If the woman is having children, then because women are the primary caretakers, that everyone should understand, and that is a prime fact of our society, that women are the prime caregivers to children. So offering childcare support would be really important if you want to attract women workforce in your organization and if you want to promote gender equality.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for considering my question. Then, if there are no any further questions, so
Oh,
we
there are
will
no further questions.
conclude this session.
Sure. Anushka.
Thank you,
I
Shagun.
want to conclude first. I'll conclude and then you can conclude. So I want to conclude this session by calling out to all the women on the call that don't think yourself that you're any less than men. Times have gone when women were treated less, and when women were thought that they're better off at homes. There's no harm in being a full-time mother. There's no harm in becoming a housewife, and there's no harm in quitting your career. But if you really want to pursue your career, then believe that no one can stop you. And if you strongly believe that, then you can really grow, whether it's a male-dominated society or it's not, or it's someplace else, it really doesn't matter. If you have the confidence and if you show the skills and the knowledge, then no one can stop you, and especially in today's time. So have the confidence, build the self-belief, and keep growing in your network, keep growing in terms of your achievements, keep growing in terms of your skills, and you will be unstoppable. And we women are no less, just believe that. And to all the male who are there on this call, I want to say that um, you guys are pitching in terms of household work and other things that was preconceived that only women should do. So I would kudos to you all that times are changing and times are changing because of you all. Um, so I would really thank all the men that they have joined in for this women-centric topic. And it takes a lot of guts to make sure that the other gender is also growing and to not feel bad about it. So I would really thank all the men also who were joined.
Thank you, Shagun Agarwal, ma'am, for hosting this wonderful webinar. So your session was both informative as well as enjoyable. So we extend a warm gratitude to all the participants for joining us today. Adore is a non-profit organization that offers unpaid internship opportunities and volunteering opportunities as well. Individuals can utilize their time and expertise to support Adore mission and various programs, thereby serving the community and making a difference. For more information and to apply, it is recommended to contact directly to Adore or visit their official website.
And I had a great time chatting with you all. Have a great night and rest of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.